Let's learn even more about multiplication. This time we're going to be looking at something called arrays. What do you see in this picture? Did you notice the columns at the front of the house going up and down? Now we'll be looking at items that are arranged in vertical columns that go up and down. What do you see in this picture? Do you see how the seats are arranged in rows going across? Along with columns, we will be looking at items arranged in horizontal rows. When we look at an array, we look to see how many rows there are. How many rows do you see? I see 1, 2, 3 rows. Next, we count the columns. How many columns do you see? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. When items are arranged in equal rows and columns, it makes them easier to count. To find out the total number of donuts in the box, we could use repeated addition, 4 plus 4 plus 4, or even skip counting and count by fours, 4, 8, 12. But since these items are arranged in an array, let's look for the number of rows and columns. I see 3 rows and 4 columns. We can use the multiplication symbol to show this. 3 rows of 4, or 3 times 4. 3 times 4 equals 12. There are 12 donuts. Let's use the number of rows and columns to count the total number of eggs in this carton. I see 3 rows of eggs in 2 columns. To write this using multiplication, we would write 3 rows of 2 as 3 times 2 equals 6. Okay, your turn. Can you use the number of rows and columns to count how many squares of chocolate are in this bar? Did you see 3 rows and 5 columns? Good job. How would you write this using multiplication? Did you write 3 rows of 5 as 3 times 5? Great. If you said there were 15 pieces of chocolate, you're right. Great job. To review, an arrangement of items in equal groups and columns is called an array. In this array, we have 3 rows of dots arranged in 5 columns. We can represent this using multiplication as 3 times 5 equals 15.